happening, weirdos? This is Johnny Knoxville. What a thrill. Johnny Knoxville is here. He's promoting his new movie, which I watched the night before we did this podcast, called Sweet Dreams. It's a beautiful, beautiful, funny, interesting, great, kind of a new side of Johnny Knoxville. He's an incredible dramatic actor, and it's also very funny. It also has Jay Moore and Bobby Lee. The whole cast, Theo Vaughn, is stacked with people that give unbelievable performances. It's heartwarming. It's funny. It's about sobriety. It's kind of like a Bad News Bears feel, but in a new and fresh way. I'm not just saying this, recommend Sweet Dreams. It is out in theaters on April 12th, Friday, and it will be available for digital on April 16th, which is Tuesday. Definitely give it a watch. Sweet Dreams. So glad you guys are here. If you want to see me live, the show I'm plugging these days, what am I plugging these days? Dania Improv in Florida. I keep getting emails being like, push Florida. So maybe old Holmesy isn't selling as great in Florida as he wants to. So help me out, Florida. Help me out, Floridians. Go to PeteHolmes.com. Come see me at the Dania Improv. I'm telling myself, maybe Floridians are just super chill, and they're out there in linen shirts on Segways, smoking cigars, and they don't make their weekend plans till the weekend. So hopefully I'll see you there. Also, I have my show May the 4th in Los Angeles for the Netflix is the Fest show. PeteHolmes.com for that as well. Also, my vinyl Dirty Clean with all the proceeds going to Homeboy Industries is at PeteHolmes.com. Everything's at PeteHolmes.com. Come see me on the road. I'll be out there. I'm out there. All right, PeteHolmes.com. That's it. All right, everybody, enjoy the incredible Johnny Knoxville and check out Sweet Dreams in Fridays this theater. All right. Get into it.
Are we holding the mics?
We hold the mics like ice cream cones.
All right.
Have you ever done stand-up?
I did it once when I was 15.
We can just start.
Okay, I did it.
You turned on your voice. All right. Well, when I was 15.
Back when tigers used to smoke. I did stand up once when I was 15 at the Funny Bone in Knoxville, Tennessee, because I read somewhere that Eddie Murphy did it when he was 16.
Oh, you wanted to scoop him?
Yeah, I wanted to scoop him. Like, I'm going to, one up Eddie. Yeah, but so I wrote like 5 minutes and went and did it, and it was terrifying.
I was going to say, like, not to, because I don't know if you know, I'm a comedian. I don't know where it ranks in like the terror scale as someone, who's done all the things you've done, adrenaline wise. I know you only did it once and it was a long time ago, but where do you rank it?
It's up there with the most frightening for me.
Really?
I'm like,
Exile, right?
What?
Exile, that's the risk.
Yeah.
Like, a group of people could like fucking hate you.
I just felt it was terrifying. And my sweat pits, they already, back in high school, were out to here.
Yes.
But when I was performing that night, they almost touched in between my chest.
You get the center one.
Oh, yeah. Just a
It's a bra.
Pit. Yeah.
You get a moisture bra.
Yeah.
We call that. It's terrifying. I was just this is weird, but I did a silent retreat. And it wasn't silent. It was a meditation retreat.
Right.
And then they were like, there's a talent night. And I was like, oh, no.
At the meditation retreat, there's a talent? Isn't that kind of like...
You'd think. But it was actually
opposite of what you're trying to do.
I agree, but it ended up, not to be this guy, but it ended up being kind of like a powerful thing for me because it was like, what point is peace if you can't incorporate it? For me, most people were like reading poems. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a real like razzle dazzle night, but people knew I was a comedian, and people started asking me, "Are you going to do the talent night?" So stand up to me, having done it for over 20 years, no longer gets me to that pit stain super adrenalized point.
Yeah.
But if you make me do stand-up in a situation where people aren't... I love doing stand-up at a club where you're like the fourth stand-up and you just slip in and it's the most natural thing in the world. This is a talent night. People are reading poems about like non-duality and how silence has moved them and touched them. And then I have to be like, wah!
Yeah.
And
you have to wake everyone up.
Yes, exactly.
It's like, please kill me.
But my heart was jacked. And this is, I know you're so much more than a stunt person. By the way, I watched Sweet Dreams last night. It's fucking fantastic.
Oh, great. Thank you.
It's fucking fantastic.
Thank you.
I'm not just saying that.
Well, I appreciate that.
My wife and I watched it. We can just go right into it. I really see, as an actor, have you ever gotten this? You remind me of, are you ready?
Go ahead.
It's a good one.
Yeah?
Jack Nicholson.
Oh, well, thank you.
There's a Nicholsonian quality to your face and the subtlety of your, like, I find myself it sounds like I'm buttering your bread, but I was really genuinely like, what am I feeling right now? And I was like, oh, it's that Cuckoo's Nest all the way up through Departed.
Well, I mean,
style.
I don't mind if you steam my oyster.
I'll steam your oyster.
I
thought it was
thank
fantastic.
You. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And also one more compliment about the movie. It's like, it's a recovery house with misfits, and they're going to play a softball game to save the house, right? That could be so bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It could be so bad.
Yeah.
And everyone, Theo nails it, you nail it, Bobby nails it, Mo Ammer, everyone's nailing it. And whoever shot it, and whoever directed it, whoever did the music, I'm like, you guys, one of the things that excites me most about film, is like when you take something that isn't, and when Johnny puts his glasses on, he thinks in Korean, you know what I mean? Like high concept, craziness, can't miss, green screen, just jizzathons.
Yeah.
And somebody
been
takes
there.
Somebody takes a simple.
I wish I was lying.
What do you mean? You've done a jizzathon? A can't miss green screen jizzathon?
No, I've seen Chris Pontius do that, but not in front of a green screen.
A jizzathon.
Yeah. We didn't start out that way. One time it did, and one time it didn't.
Wait, is this a prank that or a stunt that involved jizzing?
You were saying all the nice things about the movie, too, and then I take it to this.
No,
but you said jizzathon, and I was triggered.
No, you were inspired.
There
is a lot of... I remember we had Steve-O on the show, and he was like, I'm going to jump out of a plane while jacking off. And I was like...
I know. He didn't, though. I talked to him about that.
Tell me.
He jacked off, came, and then jumped.
Yeah, you got to come in the air.
I'm like, you got to pull and shoot and jump. You got to jump as you're shooting.
You have to jizz while you're free
I never
falling.
want to criticize Steve-O, but I've told him to his face. I'm very honest about the notes I give him.
And the note was,
you got to jizz as you jump.
As you're falling.
As you jump, just jump and woo, yeah.
The trouble is fight flight. Your body's not letting you jizz if you're free falling. It's a miracle that he jizzed.
How do you know?
Trust me.
Okay, I stand corrected.
Dude, I'm someone who has a hard time peeing at the ballpark. There's no way you're jizzing in a free fall. Like, your body does weird things when your knees... I hate that when your knees start shaking. Like they're literally going no.
Your knees start shaking?
I get wobbly knees. I know if I went in an airplane, my knees would start shaking.
I guess my nervous reaction to sweating.
No knees wobbles. What about the steady hand? Got a steady hand?
No.
Does it shake?
Yeah, a little. But I shoot with this hand. Blazing Saddles.
Are you Sobe Noodles?
Sobe Noodles?
Are you sober?
Oh.
I'm trying to bring some fun into it.
Cockney rhyming slang of Blazing Saddles.
No,
I'm not.
That's interesting. You played it so... I'm just a dingus. I watch you and I'm like, wow, he's recovering. And I'm like, maybe he's sober. I don't know. You feel like a guy... You've had such an interesting life that... I don't know what I'm saying when I say you seem like a sober guy now.
Well, maybe I've came out the other side. I've had my period of excess. Yeah. And a lot of my friends have been in the program and are in the program.
Yeah.
And I had an alcoholic father, so I've had a lot of experience.
And then you're also surrounded genetically.
Yes.
You don't have the allergy. This isn't an accusation.
Like there are times in my life where I was drinking too much, but I always found a way to like turn it around.
You could stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could stop.
I read somewhere that you on your first wedding, you gambled away. Is gambling a thing too? Like you had your money for the wedding and you gambled it?
That was
real?
just like a one-off thing. Like I like to bet on Tennessee college football games. But that's the only thing I bet on.
Your wife should have known that. You knew I bet on Tennessee football games when you married me.
I didn't then because I didn't even have enough money.
Yeah.
You know, I borrowed money from my friend John Linson, and
is he the jizzing guy?
No.
Oh, that's a different name.
Yeah, he has a legitimate career.
Okay.
In Hollywood. Created Yellowstone and all kinds of
Okay.
So, yeah, he let me borrow money, and
to get married.
Yeah.
And then you bet it.
Yeah.
How much of your life? We're just meeting. Are you living your life? Leading question. As if it's going to be written down somewhere. Like you strike me as a guy that's like, I'm going to make my life a story. Like even that. This guy lends me money. I'm in Vegas to get married. Do you have a little, not wicked, but mischievous guy that goes like, it's a pretty funny story if you make this bet, even if you lose?
Well, you got to be careful how you choose your heroes because, like, I was surrounded by these larger-than-life characters from my father and all his friends.
They were wild boys.
Yeah, they were wild. And then a lot of my heroes in literature are larger than like Hunter S. Thompson and so
Trevor from Grand Theft Auto. Did you play that and go, hey?
Play what?
Grand Theft Auto. Do you not know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about,
Trevor.
but I haven't played it.
If you played it, heavy knocks.
Oh yeah,
heavy knocks. If I were you, this is me. This is you playing that game. Son of a bitch.
Maybe I need to be remunerated.
Yeah, no, but it's very, you know why? Because it's very Hunter S. Thompson.
Right.
They're doing like the can you say boondock? What do you say? Redneck? Is any of this okay?
It's okay with me, man. Whatever you want to say.
I get worse and worse. Yeah, fucking cracker, piece of shit. But, you know, like the wild boy living in kind of a rural area that wants to ride a tractor off a jump. And But then Hunter S. Thompson brought this, like, legitimacy to it. I don't have to tell you. I'm kind of explaining. Like, the journalistic lens of taking psychedelics and shooting guns and losing your mind. That was one of your heroes?
Yeah.
Why?
Did I guess?
I mean, I did just make him sound pretty awesome.
You know, just you did.
I did. Why? Why would you like someone like that?
You answer your own question sometimes.
But here's a better one. How did you find him? How were you exposed?
What blew me like when I was around 19-ish, 20, I read Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and I remember when I read On the Road by Jack Kerouac. I was 14. My cousin, who's a singer, Roger Allen Wade, gave me the book.
It's one of those books. It's one of those some magical figure gives it to you books.
Yeah.
You know?
And my cousin is a magical figure.
Like an Obi-Wan or a Han Solo, really.
Yeah. And I didn't know people lived that way and they were that
free
and bold.
Yeah.
And so that was the first inkling of I've got to get out of here, of town, of Knoxville.
I say this all the time. Jake Johansson, great comic, has this joke. He goes, I'm from Iowa until I realized we were free to leave.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Best thing come out of Tennessee is I-40 West. No, I love Tennessee, but...
and I love where I'm from, too, to a certain extent, but, like, where you're from is always going to be where you're from.
Yeah.
And the leaving is the thing. For me, I have a bias for that. I loved leaving. That doesn't mean I do sometimes look down on people that are just like, I've been here for 70 years. And I'm like, it's kind of cute, but also wasn't for me.
Yeah, I remember even as I was really young, I would hear all these stories about people growing up. Oh, when he was young, he was the best ball player in town, or she was this, and I'm like, well, what happened?
Yeah.
They just stopped playing, stopped doing what they
Right.
made them great. And
Right.
I couldn't understand it at a very young age, and it upset me. It upset me.
I get upset by it still.
Yeah.
I get mad thinking about people I started with, and I remember their bits. And it's a righteous anger
Yeah.
on their behalf.
Yeah.
It's not belittling or condescending. I'm just like, motherfucker.
Wasted talent.
Yes.
Oh, that
Get angry.
drives me crazy.
Drives me crazy too.
Um,
So you wanted to leave. You read Jack Kerouac's On the Road, and you were like,
yeah, but
I'm
then
not
I
gonna do
read
that.
Hunter S. Thompson, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and it was the same type of feeling. I didn't know people could write like that, and just completely, he felt creatively free,
Yeah.
and that was a real goal.
There are some people that just seem to get it younger. I don't know how they do it. That this is a weird dream we're having. You know what I mean? And like, why do you have to put on khakis and go? You know, it's that Terrence McKenna thing. Like, find the others. Like the other people that are going. Like, wait. I know it sounds like we're in a college dorm room with a lava lamp. It's very obvious, but it bears repeating. It's like, this is insane. Reality is insane. To be alive is insane.
Yeah.
And we put all of these rules. Oh, that's from Mad Men. He goes, and society puts all these rules on you to make you forget that you're born alone and you die alone. And this is Don Draper. He goes, but I never forget. And those are like people that are like, no, I don't buy it.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not putting these people down, but like, I know a lot of people that my parents are some of them. I just don't know if they're out there going like, what the fuck is going on? They're just kind of like, I went to Cooperstown. I went to the Baseball Hall of Fame for the 300th time. And I'm like, we're in outer space, Dad.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? And people like Hunter S. Thompson seem to get it. Like, fuck you. I don't understand what you're even saying.
Yeah.
We're hyper-evolved primates on a space rock. And you're like, and you have to get married when you're 22 and go into the
But I mean, some
family
people that
business.
choose that and
It's
they're
fine.
very happy and content. Great. It just wasn't for me.
Had you done psychedelics when you read Fear and Loathing? Because I hadn't, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
I had done acid a couple times, and I felt like, well, let's not do that again because it's such a commitment. If 12 hours, like with uppers, you can take downers. With downers, you can take uppers. You can counteract, but with acid, you're stuck.
With LSD, you have to reconcile with your dad.
You just can't do anything for 12 hours except for a trip.
Yeah.
And so
And it keeps coming back.
I felt trapped.
Yeah.
So I'm not claustrophobic, but in those moments, I'm like, I have to get out of
Well,
this.
it's inside of you.
Yeah.
It's literally got the controls. It's
Yeah.
irrevocably in your system.
Yeah.
So what was the first time you took it and what happened? Do you remember?
Yeah. I remember. No, I don't. I remember some specifics. I guess I took it 3 times. Once, like it was the 3 drops, the window pane in the eye.
In
We
your
went to the
eye?
beach.
You get drops of acid in your eye?
Yeah, it was liquid acid or something, and then I did it with this guy.
Your eye doctor? Your ophthalmologist?
Yeah,
Let's get fucked up my way.
and then I did it with this dude who had like a band. You know what a band dog is?
A band dog?
Yeah, it's the size of a Great Dane, but built like a Rottweiler.
No.
And it was such a smart dog. Like we would go out to bars and he'd go, "We'll just leave it in the car. No one will mess with your car."
Wow.
Yeah, and
He takes it for a spin. Super smart dog.
Very smart.
He's signaling.
But I remember we took acid and we just hung out at his house, and he had no water, and I was so thirsty, and I think it was the last time.
Was the water off?
I don't know.
That's an acid thing. You
Yeah,
didn't
I was
realize
just like,
there was
I couldn't
pipes.
put it together. But yeah, but no, it wasn't the.
You didn't have like
the
any-
psychedelics that struck me.
It wasn't like a
With
unbelievable. There weren't like peak parts of it where you touched the face of God or anything like that.
No, there was.
You were just
The I'm sure there were some good, but the bad outweighed the good.
and it was paranoia. or just unstoppable?
Yeah, it's just like the waves and waves of shit that kept hitting me. I was like, this is not fun.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Well, in this dude's house with his giant Jim Henson
I don't remember us
dog.
going anywhere else. We
Yeah.
just laid in the floor.
This is before Timothy Leary was like set and setting. Like, you
Yeah.
guys should have been on the beach.
Yeah.
No scary dog.
Yeah.
No car that you're afraid is going to get broken into. It sounds like you were drinking as well. Everything about this was off.
Yeah, so... But
when you read Hunter S. Thompson, you kind of had a frame of reference, though. I mean, he's got a lizard driving his car.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this, a dream? Like, I read it way too young.
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
And then, but you kind of got it.
Yeah.
Did you ever meet him?
Yeah, I met him 2 to 3 times. 2 times. Once I was completely off my tits at the Viper Room, and he walked in, and I met him, and I was so wired for sound. Like, I was walking around with a Joe Frazier doll and a Muhammad Ali doll and a stun gun, and he's like, keep that dude away from me. And it's not that, like, I frightened Hunter S. Thompson. It's just I was annoying.
Yeah.
You know? I was too...
You must get this. I mean, now you're the guy walking in the Viper Room, and someone comes up and is like, "I have a mouse trap on my scrotum," and you're like, "Can you get the fuck away from me?"
Yeah.
Is that true? I mean,
people do that, but the second time I met him was in New Orleans. I was out drinking with Sean Penn one night, and he's like, "Well, let's go see Hunter," and I'm like, "Let's go." And he was when we walked into a bar, and he was just laying on the bar, and he had his doctor's bag next to him, and he was very depressed. He was like, just kind of like his head down, going, "Oh, my back." He was in pain, and I've lost all my friends. My friends are dead, and just really like morose. And finally, Sean kind of
razzle dazzle.
Yeah, like, "Hey, come on, man, let's get out of here." And so we got out of there and went back to his hotel room, and people read from the Curse of Lono.
And he like pepped up a little?
Oh yeah, he was fully back in it. He got fully back in it then.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Send in Penn.
Yeah.
Send in Sean Penn.
Yeah. So that was a great night.
Wow.
You know?
That's incredible. And he read from what? I don't know that one.
The Curse of Lono.
I'm a hack.
I didn't want to read because I was so altered. You know, I had taken a bunch of amphetamines, and I was drunk, and the Curse of Lono has a lot of Hawaiian names. You know?
It's like in high school when you're going around and I'd practice my paragraph.
Like 12 people in the room. A lot of actors and actors. Like
you have to follow Sean Penn.
Miller, Sean Penn. Hunter's editor, I think is Brinkley. Douglas
Christy Brinkley?
Yeah, Christy Brinkley.
Wow.
And the book and Hunter like sit there as people, the speed at which you read,
the music of it.
Yeah, he wanted it a certain way, and he'd give notes.
This turned into a nightmare.
Yeah, and I was
for
like,
you.
When the book came around to me, I'm like, I'm too loaded, Hunter.
Well, anyone would understand, right? Did he understand, or did you go, no, give it a try?
For the first few times, and finally, it was like, come on, man, and I was like, oh fuck, all right. So I started reading, and I got halfway down the page, and there it is. There's a big long Hawaiian word, and I read for a little bit, and I stumbled on a couple words. He's like, I don't know what's happening. Usually he's very bright, and I'm just all my fear of not reading. It was coming true.
No.
Yeah.
He's usually so bright.
Yeah, but
And there's Sean Ben.
I was like, I'm like, fuck it. You
There's
know.
your sweat.
Yeah. So.
That's a nightmare.
Yeah, it was fine. But it was, in the moment, now it's funny.
Yeah.
But I don't think I could have read Dr. Zeus that night, much less.
Yeah.
Actually, Dr. Zeus,
Zeus.
It's
Do you
pretty,
mean Zeus?
Dr. Zeus, yeah. It's
Not
pretty.
the Greek god.
It
hate
could really
reading
trip you
Dr.
up.
Seuss.
It could trip you up.
No, after a long day of parenting and my daughter picks Dr. Seuss, I'm like, God damn it. It's so hard. You're like, Mary Muck was feeling a knuck and went down to the street for dinner. God damn it.
Yeah. You got to be on your toes.
No, I don't care for that. So can I ask you a question? We just had John C. Reilly on.
He's wonderful.
Isn't he great? Don't do an impression of him. That's a hot tip.
Do people do that?
I did that once, I think, at Largo. I didn't bring it up because he's such a solid guy. I didn't want to be like, do you remember when I did an impression of you at Largo and I don't think you liked it? He didn't seem like he would have been like laughing at that. I think he would have been like, I didn't
like today and uncomfortable.
Exactly. Meaning maybe he thinks it's disrespectful. I don't do it out of nobody does it out of disrespect, I don't think. But anyway, I asked him about acting, and it really changed my view of it. Because I was like, famously, almost any time I have an actor on this podcast, I talk about this Ted Danson story where he's breaks from a scene and he walks over to his other actors over by the Video Village, and he says to them, he goes, "Isn't acting embarrassing?" And everyone laughed really hard. And I really relate to that because I'm a performer and I really want to be like real. Yeah. And I find it very embarrassing if we're talking and then let's say we're doing Sweet Dreams and then we're talking and then they go action and then I start acting like I'm mad at you. I think that's just sort of right. That's something I have to get over.
Right.
Like that's the job for me. The money is for the weirdness. The sound guy is there and he just knows you're faking.
Yeah.
Like that's weird. As an animal, as a human animal, it's weird. I'm glad that you understand. John C. Reilly was like, I've just never even felt that for a second because I've always just loved honoring the world of make-believe, pretending, like getting into the... So I'm very curious where you are, having been so impressed with your acting, especially in Sweet Dreams.
Thank you.
And I'm just wondering, is that your experience? How do you find it? Is it natural for you?
It took me a long time to get over the fact of that everyone is looking at you, looking at me, and the camera in the beginning.
Yeah.
And that's like on the shoot. I'm much more calm on the shoot than I still hate auditioning.
God damn it.
That's the worst.
Is there anything worse?
It's the worst. And I'm not good at it.
Who is? It's a totally different skill.
Some people are good at it.
I know, and then they're not good in the movie.
Yeah.
I'm saying sometimes.
Yeah.
I did a TV show. Sometimes someone would nail it in the audition. They're just good at audition. It's like sales.
Yeah.
They're like really good at sales.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, what a firm handshake or whatever. You'd be taken with them. Doesn't mean they're great. And if so many people can't audition well, here, can I put this to you? Offer me the part. I'll come in and I'll do it, and I'll do it great, and it'll be interesting. Make me audition. I can't, for some reason, I can't do that because it's like a low status. Like suddenly I feel stupid, like I'm taking some dumb chance, and they're judging. Do you relate to that?
The judging is the hard part, and I get really internal as opposed to being free.
Yeah.
And that's no way to work.
No.
You got to be free and just like, but hey, I hope this one works.
I'm going to give you a very specific comp. Johnny, you didn't know. The movie's not even out yet. You're having the conversation with the guy with the most specific compliments. It's going to be downhill from here. The first time you go to bat in the movie, again, it's people in recovery play softball, and you play softball. And there's a long, I guess you call it a tracking shot. Somebody's on a Steadicam walking by the fence, and you're going to the bat. It's a long shot, and you hit the first pitch, there's a lot of like nice magic captured. There's a moment where Bobby hits his hand, like catching the ball, just like real organic, real softball. It's great. But the moment where you are this reluctant, successful guy who doesn't want to be on a softball team full of losers, I'm assuming that's your feeling in that moment. What the fuck am I doing here?
Right.
But then you can't help. You hit it. You go to second. Bad movie. It's a home run.
Yeah.
Love that it's a double. And it stays on you. So here's two things I want to say. Someone is walking with you, and that's awkward. It's hard. I find that type of acting to be very tricky. You're supposed to just be thinking about the game, and there's literally a guy, and there's somebody pulling his back. Yeah. And then now we're on the field. Now you have to hit that ball. It's in the script. You got to hit it. Yeah. Johnny, hit the ball, and then run to the thing, and you got to do it. And then the second compliment. So I loved how natural you were when they were tracking you, and I know that's hard to do. And two, I love the smile you did. My wife and I we paused the movie and we talked a little bit about the smile.
Oh, wow.
And how you could have ruined the movie. If you could have ruined the movie in that moment with a dumb smile. If you went like a bit, like too big, it had to be
like Paul Lynde.
Yes,
like total Paul Lynde.
Yeah, if you did a Paul Lynde smile. The movie, the soul of the movie is that moment, is that we believe that your character can't help but kind of love the feeling of playing baseball, softball.
Yeah.
And in that moment, you did it. In fact, my wife, I'd love to do it with you. You can say no. We play a game called Smallest Smile, where we put our head down, and you put your head up, and then you do the smallest smile you can possibly do. Do you want to do it?
Sure.
I'll go first so you can...
Oh, man.
Because you kind of do it in the movie.
Okay.
I'll go first so you can see what it's like. And it's very simple. You ready?
Yeah. That was like Clint Eastwood trying to smile in The Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
Yes. It was
just
a tiny.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know. I don't know if I can.
I'm going to tell you a tip.
Okay.
If you think it's too small, it's not. If you can feel it, you're doing it.
Okay. Fuck. All right. So
you just look down.
Okay.
We'll come up.
Did I even do it? In my mind, I did it. Was it twitching?
Somehow, impossibly, you just twitched the line. It just like no one. If I asked you to do that, you'd be like, no one can do that.
Oh,
but you did it.
Funny. Oh, man.
It was excellent. It was excellent.
That's...
You did it in the movie.
I was just... Well, growing up, baseball, like, was the only thing that I was ever sort of good at. So just in that moment, it wasn't too hard to
recapture.
Yeah, it's just so fun. My son is 14 years old and he plays, and just when he's like, "Hey, Dad, you want to go throw?" It's the highlight. It's just the highlight of my day.
Really?
You know, and my daughter does the same thing. "Hey, will you hit volleyball in the backyard with me?" Yes, is the answer. It's so fun, man.
It's out of your head, right? You're moving.
Just to be out there with them and doing that because they're getting older and then
of course. It's
just like
I was
just
overthinking
fun.
it. Yeah,
it's just fun.
But that's what I see in the movie is like there's certain things. I have this theory like everybody at their baseline is Enya. Nobody's Metallica. Nobody's speed metal. Do you know what I mean? If you can calm anyone down, we're all Enya down here. And something about a group. Do you know what I mean? Like fucking, we're talking about Steve-O.
We're all Enya.
We're all Enya.
Oh, fuck.
You give Steve-O, 20-year-old Steve-O, you get him breathing, you get him regulated, give him a massage, give him some nice smells, give him a dim room, you calm him down. He's Enya. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, you try that on 20-year-old Steve-O. We tried everything on...
well, we'd have to trap him.
You know
what I mean? Like, we'd have to trap him.
Yeah.
And maybe tie him down.
Let the angel dust wear off.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes.
All whatever he was doing.
Exactly.
But no, but he's like... it wasn't like that. It was the hardest thing to
Getting
do.
Clean?
Yeah. But he just... As hard as he was doing drugs, he went even harder getting and staying clean.
Yeah.
And that's real bravery.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And it makes sense. I mean, addicts typically very black and white. I'm not officially an addict. I'm not a card carrying addict, but I'm one of those people that goes like, and stop.
Yeah.
And that becomes the new. It's like one of the tricks of life is to use our wounds in ways that serve us. So if you can get addicted to sobriety, I know that sounds like a little pithy phrase, but it's true. You get like,
yeah.
And that's kind of in the movie too. Is God damn. Sorry to talk about it. I know you guys haven't seen it. It's not out yet. But there's the first AA meeting, and how good is Jay Moore in that scene?
Yeah, Jay's great.
It's incredible. That's another one of those moments where we were like, that could have ruined the movie. If his share after your share. And what I love about it, I know people haven't seen it, but like what I love about AA and what this movie shows about AA is that you give this share that's like, I don't want to be here. I fucking hate this. I don't want to be a person where the highlight of my life is dumb fuck meetings like this and to be a loser like you guys.
Yeah.
And everyone claps. And Val and I are crying. We're like literally crying because we're like, that's the program. That's not just AA, but that's what support and love looks like in a relationship, in a group. But something about a group of men applauding another guy saying, fuck you, you guys suck, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
And they're all like, we felt just like you. And I have the chills just remembering it.
Wow.
Like Jackass 2, it's like men needing each other, men wanting to prove themselves, men wanting to be accepted by one another. I'm not trying to force a connection, but I see like we need community, we need groups, we need feats of strength, and sobriety is a feat of strength.
We needed more whiskey and amphetamines, I believe, on Jackass number 2.
I shouldn't have married it to Jackass. I got greedy. I got greedy.
We did need each other's validation.
Well, there is I can't be the first person to say that Jackass is like, men have no, in our culture, I don't just mean in certain states or anything, I mean the whole thing. We have no rites of passage. We have no older men telling younger men, you're with us now. Very rarely. And look at any other culture, most cultures, ancient cultures in the world. They all have some sort of, you take the boy and you bring him away from the house and into the tribe of men. And I understand there's lots of gender studies and anthropological issues that I'm not smart enough to explain or to understand, but I'm just saying what it was is men would, some of them are beautiful. They'd take a young boy and the father would put on like a wicked mask and they'd wrestle and they let the boy win. They're not all humiliations.
Right.
And now you're in and now you're with us. And when I see Jackass, and maybe it is just methamphetamine and whiskey, sure, but boys be kicking each other in the balls and they want to prove their strength. They want to prove their might. There's anything? Does that sound?
No, I mean, the rites of passage.
Double mic.
Steve-O and Pontius performed a lot of rites of passage on Wild Boys. And one of my favorite, which really fucked Chris Pontius up, was to become a man in this one culture, I forget where they were, maybe Indonesia, they had to put on a glove of bullet ants. And bullet ants, I think, maybe one of the worst stings in the animal kingdom.
Oh, no.
And they both did it, and Pontius had the worst reaction. He had to go in the hospital, his face swelled up real bad. But they became men that day.
Yeah.
So
I knew more of like dig your own grave and sleep in it stuff. That just sounds like abuse. And that's where it gets really tricky, right?
Yeah.
Did you, as growing up, were you one of those like, I'll show you people? I mean, we got into show business. Were you like itching to like razzle dazzle, stand out?
I did. Well, my father was always the center of attention in any room he went in. He just absorbed energy. He's actually an introverted extrovert. But
a showman.
In a public situation, oh yeah, he should have. I think he would have been happier in show business, but that just wasn't even on the agenda.
Yes.
You know,
I feel similar about my dad.
Yeah.
My dad's he's like the mayor of Somerville. Like he goes in the bakery, and we went to Dunkin' Donuts last time I was at home. Everybody knew him. Everybody's talking to him, and he has a joke for everybody.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't, it's certainly not jealousy. I think it's I wish there was a good jealousy. When he sees what I'm doing, I see him kind of being like, I could have razzled him. And I think he could have.
Well, there's a whole thought. I don't know who discusses this sometime. It's, I don't know whether it's a big comedian, but it's like, I don't know if it was Jerry Seinfeld, who's like, my father was very funny, but he never got into show business. And then there's a lot of people like that where the son or daughter will go into show business and become,
like the echo of the father's sort of propensity or whatever. Yeah, it's kind of beautiful.
Yeah.
Would you want your kids to go into show business?
If they wanted,
yeah. Because it's not all horrible. I feel similar. Was it Goldie Hawn? They didn't let their daughter act until she was, I don't know if it was 18 or 21 or something.
Right.
So there was like no child acting shit.
Yeah.
But like later, if you're still into it, you can do it. That resonates with me.
Yeah, my oldest daughter has done acting, and now she works in production.
Okay.
So, and we would, growing up, if one of our friends asked can they use her in a video or a film?
Yeah.
We'd say yeah.
Yeah.
Because we knew the people. And so that happened a number of times.
Do they seem to have the look at me bug? And but I don't mean that as a bad thing.
No.
Yeah.
They don't. Rocco did ask, he's saying, he wanted to get a job and make some money. I'm like, well, you could, if you want, you could go on commercial auditions, because one of his buddies, he was just telling me a story like 2 minutes before, one of his buddies got a commercial. I said, would you want to do that? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, well. So.
Did he?
He may.
He might.
Yeah, he might. I got to make the call.
Have you seen the movie The Hollywood Complex? It's a documentary about the, what is it called? Oakwood. Is it Oakwood Apartments? There's those apartments every pilot season. There's no real pilot season anymore, but back in the day, there are these
I used to
like
live there for
furnished.
a little bit.
You know what I'm talking about?
The Oakwood, yeah.
The Oakwood.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So they did a doc about it. Anyway, there's just something about seeing some kids that it's just not for them, and they're reading commercial copy. And I don't know if this is offensive, but it's an impression of a single person, not an entire group. And she's going, I love corn pops, sweet popcorn, delicious in my mouth. For breakfast, put it in my face. And her mother is like, no, say, put it in my face. And they're just in the car, and you're like, this kid's not getting it.
Oh.
Kid's not getting the part. Like, when it's wrong, it's so wrong.
Yeah.
It's just not for everybody.
Yeah.
So I hope your son, you got to want to read some copy. It's not.
Yeah, I'm going to work with them, because it can be super. I mean, we've discussed.
Yeah, and the rejection. You still feel it.
Yeah, and just how awkward it is. And,
yeah.
So I'll go over all that with him, and if he still wants to do it, he's free to. But
did I cut you off there? You said when acting, you have to get over how everyone's looking at you. And then I started talking about that tracking shot. Did we cover the embarrassment thing? Like, are you embarrassed when you're acting, or is that natural?
No, not embarrassed. Just anxious and uncomfortable. When I began. Now I'm to the point where I'm still awkward at the read-through. The read-throughs are like auditions almost.
Because they do recast them after the read-through.
Yeah. And I've never been, but I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
And
it's not really a read-through, is it? That's just a friendly name for what it really is.
They say, oh, no, this is just to hear it out loud.
The studio just wants to see it.
Yeah.
They want to see if you're worth what you just negotiated.
Yeah.
You say you're worth.
Yeah, so, but now I'm on the set, and I'm relaxed.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to get relaxed in whatever you're doing for a living.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing.
True.
And it's, especially in this type of thing, it's mandatory that because otherwise, you're just inside yourself.
Yeah. And being like kind of the leader of these guys, we had to believe that they would want you to lead them. And that comes from natural confidence and all that sort of stuff. So you did a really great job.
Thank you. Well, it was
a
crazy cast. Like on the first day, it's like it's weird because I don't know whether I just got it in my head because of the story, but just walking on the set, and they all seem like it was everyone's first day, but it felt like they had been shooting for 3 weeks before I got there, because the scene would get to the end of the scene and just improv. Everyone's making everyone laugh, having a ball.
Yes.
And I just felt like not part of the group.
Wasn't that good though, kind of?
Yeah, it's good. And maybe I put myself there.
Yeah.
But I felt more part of the group as it went along. I guess I put myself there because it kind of mirrored the movie. But I remember feeling like, wow, these guys it's a really tight-knit bunch.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that did help because that's the story.
Yeah.
I wonder if it wasn't the story, if you were supposed to have already been there, you would have merged. Maybe you were unconsciously prepping for the part.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, I guess it was.
You can take the credit. You guys know I am obsessed with ways to strengthen my immunity and boost my gut health, as well as my fitness, endurance, and metabolism and recovery, as well as my hair and my skin radiance. And I recently discovered one product that does all of that, and it couldn't be easier to fit into your lifestyle. It's ARMRA Colostrum. I am legit 100% obsessed with ARMRA Colostrum. It keeps coming up in my conversations. What is it? Colostrum is the first nutrition we receive in life and contains all of the essential nutrients our bodies need to thrive. You heard that correct. It's the first nutrition and all the essential nutrients we need to thrive. I'm talking about reactivating hair growth and glowing skin by reducing inflammation. I'm talking about igniting your metabolism and fortifying gut health. I'm talking about fueling your fitness performance and recovery. ARMRA Colostrum is a proprietary concentrate of bovine colostrum that harnesses over 400 living bioactive nutrients that rebuild the barriers of your body and fuel cellular health for a host of research-backed health benefits. I've started taking it several times a day. I feel like it changed my relationship to my stomach. It gurgles and globbles so much less. I'm just feeling healthy and right and not bloated. And my hair and my skin and my nails, all of that stuff, I'm noticing a difference. Energy, noticing a difference. It's wholly natural, sustainable, and was developed with the highest integrity grass-fed in the USA, and they guarantee the highest potency and bioavailability of any colostrum on the market for results you can actually see and feel. I can attest to that. We've worked out a special offer for weirdos. Receive 15% off your first order. Go to tryarmra.com/weird or enter weird to get 15% off your first order. That's tryarmra.com/weird. We're also brought to us by our friends, our longtime friends, and of course I'm wearing them right now, The Perfect Jean. Guys, are you tired of your classic rough and rigid jeans crushing your nuts? Are you wearing oversized jeans that make you a laughingstock at your office or bar just to get some relief down there? Is your wife tired of you wearing sweats or khakis, God forbid, because you hate wearing jeans? Well, I feel you. Today's sponsor, The Perfect Jean, finally solved all of your denim difficulties. They make great looking, perfect fitting jeans that are as comfortable as sweatpants. What's the secret? A special denim fabric that's super soft and has the perfect amount of stretch so you can squat, do yoga, or just sit around in them all day without ever wanting to take them off. They make 6 fits from skinny to thick, and have a waist from 26 to 50 and lengths from 26 to 38. I appreciate that as I'm a 34 length. Big boys, short kings, tall dudes, all the rest, they got you. For a limited time, our listeners get 15% off your first order plus free shipping at theperfectjean.nyc or Google The Perfect Jean and insert code. We have a new code. It's BabyBuns15, one word, because they're soft as baby buns. BabyBuns15 at theperfectjean.nyc. Support your body, look great, feel great. They are the best looking, best fitting, best feeling jeans I've ever owned in my life. Great way to support the show. Everybody needs some pants. Everybody needs some jeans. So support your lower half and support the show. theperfectgene.nyc and use code BABYBUNS15 for 15% off for new customers at theperfectgene.nyc for promo code BABYBUNS15. After your purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Fuck your khakis and get the perfect gene. All right, back to Johnny. You mentioned your dad a couple times, big personality. I only ask leading questions. Did you feel like there wasn't a lot of room for you? That's my leading question.
No. I never felt that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, my parents were very supportive. Like, growing up, I played a lot of different sports, and they were at every practice, every game.
Oh, wow.
They were super invested in all of the kids. And I never felt like I was pushing for space or pushing to be heard. Because I like just sitting and listening to him. Because he'd go off on one of his rants or one of his insane stories.
Your dad was entertaining to you?
Oh, endlessly.
Wait. I mean, aren't most kids kind of like, Dad? You were just like, this fucking guy.
Oh, yeah.
You loved it.
Oh, loved it. I like my cousin Roger. I remember being on the couch and Dad's telling some insane story about all the people that work for him, like Woodrow Wilson Boxcar Johnson Jr. He's a great guy.
Woodrow Wilson worked for your dad?
Woodrow Wilson Boxcar Johnson Jr.
Oh, that's one person.
Yeah. And his father wasn't even a senior. He was always like getting arrested for some stupid petty crime.
Yeah.
And Dad would love to tell stories on all the guys that work for him. And so I'm just dying at everything he says.
Yes, yes.
So
this feels familiar. My father and my late Uncle Larry, who I loved very much, would tell these crazy stories like of a different time. Like some drunk driving story. Not my dad, but Uncle Larry. And he like pulled up on someone's lawn, and then he just put it in park, got out and sat on the curb. The cop showed up and he was like, yeah, the driver left. He ran away. He's gone. Like that was his, and it worked.
That's
and they
so
were like,
good.
He's gone. He's like, yeah, he just
took off. I know he left the keys in my hand, but he's gone. That was his last act, was to leave the keys in my hand.
He knew he was in trouble. He knew he shouldn't have been driving.
He said, hold these.
He said, give me the keys that have a big L for Larry, which is my name, and this is my car, but someone else was driving it.
That son of a bitch.
And we would love those moments.
Yeah.
So you would love these tales that your dad, and that did that inspire the performer in you? Were you like, I want to be like this guy?
I wanted to make people laugh. I mean, I don't know if I even cognized that really, but that's what it was. I wanted to be able to make people laugh like my dad did.
Yeah.
And it's like his group was a really good hearts, but a rowdy group. They got in all kinds of trouble.
Legal trouble?
Some, yeah.
What kind of trouble?
I mean,
alligators in the house?
I mean, his best friend Jackie Gilbert. Jackie was Neil Cassidy and Dad was Jack Kerouac. You know, Jackie was he was a boxer growing up. And he ran away from home on a donkey when he was like 8. He would just take off to Nicaragua or Mexico, hitchhiking across their country.
Hitch donkey?
Yeah, well, no, he was donkeyless. But he was always he would call Dad up and he's like, hey, I'm going to Nicaragua tomorrow to hitchhike around. Want to come? And Dad's like, Jackie, I gotta work. And he's also a crop duster, and he taught my dad how to fly, and he crashed his planes like 14 times. He rode the death wall at the fair on a motorcycle. He was always flying things in and out of Mexico, not like drugs, but, you know, people sometimes or whatever. Sometimes we'd have, hey, this is Hector. Hector's going to be living with us for a while, you know.
Hector just landed.
Hector just landed.
And you're like, what airline did you fly? This fucking guy.
Jackie Gilbert Airlines.
No
and he
movie.
loved fighting people. He got in fights up until his 70s.
Wow.
Yeah. Sometimes he would just hang down at the airfield with two pairs of boxing gloves, and people get out of their planes. He's like, hey, you want to box? And if you looked at Jackie, the answer would be no.
Yeah.
You know, he carried his teeth in his pocket most of the time. He had the gold fronts, slick back hair. The nicest guy. He was so sweet to my family, and, you know, my father and him had a couple of plane crashes.
More than one.
Yeah, yeah.
Your dad's just limping in the front door like,
and Jackie was obsessed with Donald Duck, so he'd come get my Donald Duck cartoons when they'd go fly somewhere. And one time he took my Donald Duck glasses, and they were flying over Alabama or somewhere, and the plane starts stalling, and Dad's like, oh shit, Slobby, wake up Jackie. And Jackie's back there sleeping with the Donald Duck sunglasses on, and he has to like get up front and land the plane in a field, and it flipped, but they were all fine.
Thanks to those Donald Ducks.
Yeah, so
This is insane.
yeah, it was.
And this was somebody that was this a formative person for you? I mean, it seems like maybe.
Yeah, I love Jackie. I actually had interviewed my father and Jackie for Jackass World. We had a website for 2 seconds. And it's one of my favorite interviews because I'm just interviewing them both about their friendship, how long they've been friends. And Dad loves telling the stories on Jackie. And Jackie's very understated, you know.
He's trying to fight the camera guy.
Yeah, he never... No, he would never...
No, I meant like box.
Yeah.
Not accost him. He's looking for a challenge.
He loved... And if someone said a cross word to him out in public... would not even think about it. Just lay him out.
Really?
Yeah.
What? Like what? What would be over the line? Because can I tell you? I'm going to give you a real one. I'm walking to the Comedy Store. I parked a few blocks away. Well, it doesn't matter. And I pass a lady. Let's say it was a guy, because I'm assuming he's not hitting ladies.
No.
But she's walking right at me, and I'm just on the sidewalk, and she goes, "Excuse you." And like went around me. I've been thinking about that lady for days. It really hurt my feelings. I didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
But she treated me like I was like some fucking Bluto who was like moving people out of the way. "Excuse you." I was like, "Lady, I moved this room. Excuse you. I don't get an excuse you. I know who gets an excuse you. It's not me." I'm still mad about it.
Yeah.
Guy says, "Excuse you" to Jackie. Is that rude enough?
No, some guy said something smart to him at the airfield once.
Smart.
And it got broke up, and then he goes, and Jackie never swore. He was like, Dad Jim, I ran into him at the Handy Dandy the other day." I'm like, "Yeah, what happened?" I just went up to him and punched him. I'm like, "Did you say anything to him before that?" "No." Just went up to him and did.
The punch is the communique.
He did.
Yeah.
To converse, it's like,
Why?
no.
Why let them know what's about to happen?
No, the guy could see him coming, but, you know.
The walk over is the hello. The punch is the goodbye.
Oh, man. He was the best. Jackie was the best.
Did you get in fights growing up?
Yes. Yeah.
Like what?
A lot of fights.
A lot of fights.
Yeah. That's just from the area I was from, South Knoxville. You unless you wanted to take a lot of shit, you had to fight.
Like honor fights.
I wasn't thinking
Like
too much
prison
about
fights.
honor, but and plus my mom would tell me, it's like, if you let someone push you around, you know, you're going to get in
More,
even worse trouble when you get home. Yeah.
Wait, your mom was like, "Don't be a candy ass"?
Don't take shit from anybody. Yeah.
What is this, a scene in Black Mass where he's like, if you hit somebody and nobody sees it, did it happen? Like that was your mom? Your mom is
Mom
Johnny
just
Depp?
didn't want me to take shit from anybody.
And then,
My father either, but it's like, see, my mom was more of the
old school.
stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
So what would happen? Somebody would make fun of you, or someone would provoke you, throw a rock. I'm really out of my depth here. What happened? This is how I know I grew up in like a very sweet area. I just don't know what you're talking about, Johnny.
Yeah, someone just playing any game of, like, it would happen just playing some game of wiffle ball with a bunch of kids, and then some guys just got a real hard on for you, and it's just bah, 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 bah.
Yeah.
And then he gets in your face, maybe pushes you.
Yeah, just
And
like the
then
movies.
it's like, okay, it's on now.
A circle forms, just like the movies. Is your best friend there, and he's a redhead, and he's like, "Go for it, Johnny."
Like, I could always take people talking, but I never like people to put their hands on me.
Yeah.
You know, and then
And did
and then we're fighting.
And did you win the fights?
Some, but
Not all.
no, I wasn't that great of a fighter, but I didn't mind it. Sometimes I liked it.
And then, okay,
Yeah.
next day, so you fight Jim. We're gonna make up a guy named Jim who in the wiffle ball game talked some shit. Then he pushed you. That was too far. Your redheaded best friend was like, "Don't take it, Johnny." Then you punch Jim in the face. I'm assuming at some point, teachers, faculty, somebody comes and breaks it up,
Yeah.
just like the movies. Now it's the next day, and you're at school, and you see Jim.
Well, quite often
that
after
like?
you fight someone, you have a bond with them, and you're instantly cooler with them.
No,
You're even chummy.
trauma bond.
Yeah.
You went through it together.
I mean, if you watch boxing, like, people, they'll be at war before the fight, and if they have a great fight, they've earned the other person's respect, and they're hugging at the end. Same thing in a street fight, a lot of times.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I have to imagine that kid had his own version of a mom that was like, you gotta establish your strength. Some version of that. But you're also little boys to a certain extent. So you kind of don't want to, but you have to. So there must be a relief. You did it. We had the fight.
Yeah, it was just
Like you did the scary thing is what I'm saying.
yeah, it was just a way of life back home, really. It's how people live. That's what happened day to day.
Wow.
And you know, I remember when my daughter was growing up, my oldest daughter, she'd be like 3rd or 4th grade. I'm like, "So who's the best fighter in your class?" She's like, "What, Dad?" And like I always knew the best fighter in my class growing up. She's like, "Daddy, no one fights." I'm like, "Really?" And each year I'm like, "Anyone get in a fight this year?" "No, Dad."
Give me the stats.
Yeah. Finally, when she was in 11th grade, she ran home and she was so excited. She's like, "Yes, 2 girls got in a fight today."
She couldn't wait.
She couldn't wait to tell me, and I gotta say, I was thrilled. I was thrilled on 2 points. I was thrilled that she didn't grow up in that environment, and it was such a big deal that someone finally got in a fight. You know, I'm so happy that my kids none of them have ever been in a fight.
Yeah.
You know, I have 2 daughters and a son. It's just not.
It's not their world.
No, and I'm so happy.
You did good.
Well,
You broke the cycle, but you keep that street fighting mentality, don't you? It's still part of your code.
I did get in a lot of fights
Part of the Knoxville code.
when we were filming Jackass, like go promote in some other country or somewhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait.
And again, I'm not I'm not a very good fighter, but if you know,
I have a question. Real talk. I'm not going to do it, but let's say I started saying "fuck your mother" or something like that, and I wouldn't stop. Would you punch me in the face?
yeah, I think, yeah. I would try.
With Katie here.
I would try to walk away, but if you can't, I mean,
yeah. Well, I'd have to touch you, maybe. Even if I told you I was going to do it, I was like, Johnny, everything I'm about to say, I don't.
Pretty hard.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know your mother. I don't know her.
I know, but I get that. I get that twitch.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm trying to overcome that twitch.
No, there's so many more yous than there are me's. I feel like it's weird that you could say "fuck my mother" to me, and I'd be like, "You don't know her." Like that's weird. But although I think there's probably a threshold that I would cross.
Also, because I think, like, I feel like I knew that you're trying to get a rise out of me, and you're trying to elicit a certain response.
Right.
So I just want to satisfy you and give you that response.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I felt like that's what you're going for. And
but
I think a normal person in the street comes up, I'm just going to go boop, whoop.
Right. Also, you don't know if it's some sort of, if you're being hoodwinked in some way.
Yeah.
Like they're filming it.
Plus, it's like people want to sue you.
That's what I'm saying.
It's good to let them hit you first.
I look at you and, there you go. Good advice. For real.
Yeah. Good advice, kids. Always let them hit you first.
Let them hit you first. Don't be a candy ass on the schoolyard.
Yeah. Better hit them back, but let them hit you first.
Yeah, then it's self-defense, right?
Just don't take shit from anybody. That's the general.
Didn't the Buddha say that?
Drink your milk, mind your mom, and don't take shit from anybody.
When I watch you, and I know Eric Andre and I started together, and I still love him very dearly. Yeah. And maybe you get this all the time, but when I see you and he trying to tase each other and stuff, I just sort of feel bad. I just go like, those poor boys, they just can't relax. Like, I think maybe you are like, this is fun, life is real, and never relax. I'm just like, it can't be fun going to work and wondering if Eric Andre is going to light you on fire that day.
I don't even know. It's sheer fun.
Really?
Yeah, because... Yeah, it's fun. I mean, he got me this year on the prank panel. Yeah.
With a taser?
With a tase wand. But it hit me.
It's too long.
And I get so much adrenaline, you see, like it hits me. And he goes, when I hit you with it, you didn't even react. And then he's like, oh no. And then we chased and wrestled. And I got the stun wand from him.
There's a delay.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm up for it. God help me. God help me. I think that kind of thing is fun.
Right. It's real. This is great. You're being authentic. You're not a guy who's like, I think people would watch if I let people stun me. You're like, this is fun.
No, I'm like, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
Do we must have different relationships to pain or something?
Maybe. Like, people are like, oh, your threshold for pain must be so high. I'm like, I don't think so.
What is it?
I just think my give a damn threshold is really low.
Yeah.
I don't, like, I know the pain's coming, but I don't care because I'm trying to do something.
I don't know what happened where we got wired differently. I'm just so like, everybody relax. In fact, one of the things I'm doing as stand-up is I
doing
just
the
want
opposite.
Everybody to be happy and relax. And you're like, no, let's poke the bear, literally sometimes. Yeah. But take the
I'm trying to create chaos.
Okay, sure, yes. You make the Acme rocket and you get on it. And it's 5 rockets inside and they all fire. The stunt goes wrong and they misfire in all different directions. Mm-hmm. I saw you telling that story, and one of the rockets just whizzed by somebody's head, and it would have decapitated them.
The two of the art guys, yeah.
And I'm watching.
One went out like right next to my ribs.
And I'm watching, going like, "That's a wrap." The stunt almost killed 2 guys, and you.
Yeah.
3 guys almost died. I'd just be like, well. I'd be writing letters to their family, just like, I am a fool. Like, just because it almost happened, you just kept going.
Well, that day, like, Jeff and I had a big Tremaine. We had another rocket there, and I'm like, let's go. Load it up.
Shut up.
We had more rockets. Rockets.
Okay, so 2 people almost got decapitated. You're like, oh, phew. Get the next rocket.
That was my reaction. wanted to keep shooting.
Keep going.
Yeah.
I almost got a rocket through the kidney.
I know it.
Keep going.
I can't defend.
I don't want to
position.
defend. I want to understand. Is it because your
was
heart
trying
is
to.
jacked?
I wanted to get the shot. I wanted to get the. I'm just thinking about. This is what when I woke up this morning. This is what I wanted to do, and I haven't done it yet. So let's keep going.
I need to finish.
Yeah. I need to finish. I'm trying to do something. I need to come here to do what I wanted to do. Because I have that thing where I'm like,
it's a tilted picture frame. You just have to fix it.
I just have to do it.
Okay, so let's say it sounds like you didn't.
That day, Jeff was like, please. Like, he convinced me because Scott and two of our guys almost got decapitated. So I'm like, all right, we'll come back. Like, he's like, just wait 3 weeks till we finish the open and close, and then we'll come back and do it. I was just talking to my girlfriend, Emily, about this morning, because when we came back to do it, and this is one of the reasons we get, good footage. Jeff comes up to me, I'm putting on my outfit, and he's like, please, you almost bought it last time. Just, I know you don't want to, but just wear some bubble wrap around you when we shoot today. I'm like, I don't want to wear any fucking bubble wrap around me when we shoot today.
He's just trying to help. And you're like, get the fuck out of here.
But eventually, he wouldn't let go, and it was starting to upset the mood of the set and my mood. And when it gets in those areas, that's the only time I'll walk away from a stunt. If anything, the set feels negative, right? If there's a darkness on the set.
For superstitious reasons, or you're just like, this is
it's gonna bring trouble into your world. Because you have to go in, like what we're doing is dangerous, but you have to want to be doing it and be in the right mindset. If you go into it in a dark mood or depressed, or someone else is spreading like darkness on the set, let's punt to another day.
Wow, fascinating.
Yeah. So I was about to that point to like, let's just, finally I'm like, give me the fucking bubble wrap.
Yeah.
And I put the bubble wrap on, which would have done nothing to a foot-long metal rocket.
It would have made it more gentle for the rocket. Yeah. The rocket would have been like, thank you.
But in Jeff's mind, Knoxville's going to be good if he's got that bubble wrap on. But I did the same kind of thing when they put two big anacondas in a ball pit. And I called Jeff the night before, and I'm like, I want to be the one in the ball pit tomorrow. Can I? He's like, yeah. He didn't know anyone was going to volunteer for it, He's like, those are the type of things he has to like, okay, you're doing it. But
yes.
I'm more of a volunteer.
But that's part of your strategy, it seems. Like, can I make a weird...
What
Go ahead.
Yeah. But I was like, I was worried about the anaconda biting my wrists and hitting the vein. So I got a couple of pieces of electrical tape. Went around once, went around twice. I'm like, hey, voila.
I'm good.
And in my mind, I was good. And that made me feel comfortable enough to get in there. Now, afterwards, they told me that one of the anacondas had ripped a guy's calf completely off 2 weeks before.
So he's got a taste for calf.
Yeah, so it's like the electrical tape...
Not helping.
Like the bubble wrap would have done nothing, but in our minds.
But in your minds. This is very interesting. I couldn't be more interested. The vibe, and it's real. And I think in this case, you're putting electrical tape on your wrists, and you believe, not just pretend, but you actually believe that it's going to help.
100%. Like, my wrists are safe.
They're safe. And then when you get in, though, and I'm not trying to overthink this.
I was free.
You're free, and I bet your heart rate is slower. I bet the animal is less afraid of you. Know what I mean? And you're more confident. You're moving differently. It's like if I gave you a crystal, or let's say it was your dad gave you a crystal before some crazy thing. It was like, this is me. I put my energy in this crystal. Placebo effect.
I would punt to another day.
Because that's bad vibe.
It's like, what is a crystal?
But the tape is the crystal. The tape is the magic thing that helped you get through it.
the whole crystal thing is like when you get sick, you have an affliction. A doctor never prescribes a crystal. You know, it never cured my eczema.
50 cc's of quartz. You guys know I'm very mindful about what I put in my body, but a few years ago, I realized I wasn't being very mindful about what I put on my body. I'm talking about face creams, shaving creams, moisturizers that I thought were fancy and good for me because they had fancy French names, and I bought them at some kiosk with pillars, but they're filled with chemicals and toxicity levels that were never intended for humans. Then I realized I want to eat food where I recognize the ingredients, and the stuff I'm putting on my skin basically gets in my body, so I want that to be the same. Enter Living Libations, not only the best and most effective skincare, hair, eyes, teeth, baby care products that I've found, but also the most natural, made exclusively with plants and oils and extracts that not only will you recognize, you'll be able to easily pronounce. And now that it's summer, having a natural zinc-based sunblock for Leela is so important. We use their Love the Sun sunblock, which not only works, but we can feel great about putting on our baby and ourselves all summer long. This is a great way to support the show. Whatever you're using in the beauty care department for your skin, nails, whatever, teeth, get a Living Libations upgrade. It's natural and they are badass. They work so well and they make amazing gifts. So support your body, support the show, get something big, get something small, whatever you need. Eyes, teeth, babies. Living Libations has a premium, natural, and wonderful product to replace the random chemical nightmare they sell at 7-Eleven. Get 15% off by going to livinglibations.com/weird. 15% off livinglibations.com/weird. We're also brought to us by our friends, almost as always, Modern Mammals, the shampoo, the non-shampoo shampoo for guys that hate to wash their hair. My whole life, my whole adult life, my strategy for having great looking hair was to not wash it. Then one day, my real life friend and hairstylist, Kat, she goes, "Your hair is disgusting. It's like running a comb through cement. Please, I can't do this anymore." Val also noticed too. My pillow noticed it was getting pretty gross. I gotta clean my hair, but I didn't want to shampoo it. Enter Modern Mammals, the only non-shampoo that cleans your hair but leaves just the right amount of natural oil in there to keep it looking perfect and in control. So it completely flipped my process. Now when I want a perfect hair day, I wash my hair with Modern Mammals. Perfect hair in 30 seconds every single time. Now the first day I wash it is my best hair day, and it's great to have that on command. Over 40,000 guys have switched to this instead of traditional shampoo. You got to see the reviews. They go insane. Guys don't get this excited about anything. It blows their mind. And once you use it, like me, you will be hooked for life. I travel with it. I absolutely swear by it. Anytime I'm doing a red carpet, TV show, anything, stand-up special, I'm using Modern Mammals. And it's a small punk rock company. It's wonderful to be working with them, making this new shampoo alternative specifically for guys. They have bars for no plastic and no fragrance, or bottles, which is their magic mud, which is like a magic gray mud that feels awesome and smells great. 6 seconds to perfect hair. Go to modernmammals.com/weird, where people can get a special combo deal and try both products, the bar and the bottle, for $44. That's modernmammals.com/weird for perfect hair. All right, back to Johnny.
But yeah, well, we worked with the bull rider, Gary LeFew. He was world champion in 1970.
I know Gary. I'm just kidding.
Oh. And
That'd be fun.
He was very animate about when we're working with bulls, if there's anyone negative or dark, they're off the set. Because you're working with an animal that can kill you. We don't need extra stress on everyone.
Good vibes only.
Good vibes only.
Yeah.
And we stuck to that, not only with bulls, but
all the time.
All the time.
I know Look, it's just my way of relating, but stand-up is very similar. Sometimes I don't want to look at my notes before I go on stage because I'm trying to stay in a place of like, I can do anything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Of course.
Like,
you
I
have
can
to be
do
free.
I'm free. So there's the rational look at your notes, but then there's this other part of me, the fucking cook, that goes like, I can do anything.
You
and
have
I will
to get there.
do anything.
You have to get there.
You know what I tell myself? And I just think you'll relate. I go, whatever I say is the show. Whatever I say is the show.
Yeah.
That's the liberation of... That's the difference between a starting comedian and a headliner, is the headliner realizes whatever happens is the show.
Yeah.
And you'll make it the show. If you're doing badly, that's the show.
Yeah.
Come feast on my carcass.
And if you're doing badly, your friends are so happy.
Yeah.
The other comedians that
That's the show.
they like, I was talking to some comedians once, and they're like, the best is like when your friend bombs.
Yes.
They're just back there loving it.
There's nothing better. I wonder if you would do a challenge where you would bomb. It's pretty undeniably horrible.
Stunts are my version of bombing.
Yeah.
You know, like
Except
you have to learn. I'm not a comedian. I don't know. I'll ask you. I was told you have to learn to love to bomb to be able to kind of get over it.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of bomb theory. My bomb theory is don't bomb. And I know that sounds silly, but there are some guys that actually would rather bomb in their integrity. I'm like, I'll do whatever it takes.
Well, some people are adversarial to the crowd, and
yeah.
you know, and it's kind of a fuck you to the crowd sometimes.
Yeah.
But some people just go out there and bomb.
Right.
And how do you feel about that when you
when it's not
have you
connected?
you've bombed before?
I've bombed, of course. Everybody bombs.
And how do you feel? Does it?
It's horrible.
And how long does it? Because the woman telling you to excuse me stayed with you for a few days.
I know.
How does bombing stay with you?
It will stay with you sometimes for years. It can linger. I the most recent time, I didn't bomb per se, but I didn't connect at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then I turned on them.
Right.
Like I got mad at them. And then I'd just be going to bed and I just caught myself, I'm looping on it. Like, because it was like a lowercase t, I don't mean big trauma, but it was like a trauma, meaning your body's fight, flight, freeze was enacted.
Yeah.
And none of those strategies work. And I chose fight. I was like, fuck you, idiots. And then I'm like, what am I doing, these poor people? You know?
But I bet some
horrible.
people in that crowd appreciate it.
Respect,
you know, they
respect.
like,
like
they
your
saw
mom is
something.
there. Your mom
That's
is there.
You know,
don't take shit.
Yeah.
That
guy's fearless.
Yeah.
You know?
I really appreciate that because whatever you do, like sometimes I'll be performing in a market that isn't exactly hip, and I'll do like what I consider to be kind of a hip joke, an interesting joke, and I won't do that well. But I'm like, there's 7 people there that are like, that just blew their dick off.
Yeah.
That were like, I saw Gary Gulman. There's this book, Misfit. Get it now. I saw Gary Gulman at the Comedy Connection in Boston. It's Boston. There's a lot of comics going up being like, and you fucking have diarrhea all over your fucking crulla, and you eat it in front of your dog. Thanks, you guys are great. And here comes Gary Gulman, and he's like, toothpicks are tiny spears, and
Right.
and I was like, in a movie
it's
you
so
do that
good.
push in with the zoom out at the same time, like like this can be comedy.
Yeah.
Fucking, there's a Pete in the crowd. There's somebody out there. Even if you're bombing and telling them to eat shit. I just love that point.
Yeah.
I also love the good vibes thing. Let me ask you this: ball pit anaconda. You're gonna do that tomorrow. Yeah, shake that up. It's matcha.
What is it?
It's called Magic Mine. I love it. I already had mine. Shake it real good though.
Can you fuck on it?
You can fuck real good on it. Here, I shook that one for you.
Oh, it's pre-shake.
I pre-shook that one.
Okay.
It's just a little caffeine, adaptogens that calm you down a little bit. You'll like it.
Okay, perfect.
Just drink it. Just shut up and drink.
Okay, tell your story.
My story is, what was it? What were we talking about? Gary Gulman? That wasn't it. Oh,
No, you-
Anaconda ball pit. Oh, yeah. How do you sleep that night? The night before, you're going to get in a ball pit with a calf-eating anaconda. Sleep fine?
Yeah. I mean, we go out to the bars. Back then, on that movie, we were like the bars till 2 or 3 in the morning. And by the time you get to bed, you're exhausted. You know, you just go out.
Is that... I got to stop overthinking this, but I'm like, is that like a strategy? Like, don't think about it. Let's get fucked up and just sleep. Because if you did stay and have a cup of chamomile, go to bed at 8:30, I have a feeling you'd be like, there's a couple anacondas that are also sleeping right now that are pretty excited for me.
Yeah. No, it was just fast, faster, and disaster in those days. You know, it wasn't
disaster.
Wasn't living a very examined life. You know, if I was living in an examined life, maybe I wouldn't have been a half-ass stuntman.
Right. All right. Slept like a baby the night before.
Slept like a baby.
Pythons.
Yeah.
Well, I feel great. I can look.
Well, as long as you feel great.
I can.
I'm kidding. That was very good.
Yeah, it'll make you feel really good too. You know why? Because it's an upper and a downer. Adaptogens aren't a downer, but they calm you, and then the caffeine's an upper, so it puts you right in the middle.
Oh,
So it's really nice.
Love it.
It's not just coffee. That's like
liquid speedball.
It's a liquid speedball.
Oh, wow.
Legally, I can't say that. No, I'm just kidding.
Why is this your?
It's a sponsor of the show, but I loved it first, and then they sponsored the show.
Okay, great.
But it is a liquid speedball. I can say that.
Yeah.
I don't think they want to say
God
that.
damn it, I'm glad you said that.
Do you love Jack Nicholson? Because even as I'm talking to you, I'm thinking you're entering into the Jack Nicholson time of your career. You're going to be serious actor.
That's a huge
Johnny
compliment.
Knoxville. He's jumping off boats and smoking cigarettes in the water. We need a new Nicholson.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Amazing.
That was my father's favorite actor, was Nicholson.
I think it had to be our father's favorite actors.
Yeah. I mean,
you can't beat it.
Yeah.
You can't beat it.
One Cuckoo's Nest, 5 Easy Pete. I mean, all his.
Even Departed, where arguably he's a little too big.
Yeah.
There's moments where it might be considered too big. I'm here for all of this.
God, his
I don't have
are
a
just
note.
on fire in every film.
But I'm telling you, I see the same thing.
Oh, well.
At least take that with you. The rest of the day.
I mean, hey.
It would make me happy if you're driving around and you're just kind of like, you don't know why you're doing that little twitch smile that you do. And you go like, oh, yeah. Because we're promoting the movie, but I'm also just like, Jesus, that's real stuff.
Wait, my Twitch smile's a thing now?
I want you to
like that little Twitch smile that you always do.
Your famous Twitch smile that you kind of did that like Jack, that you always do. I can't do him. I'm from the mean streets of South Boston. That's him in The Departed. Me and my brother his accent is so Southern California to us because we're from Boston.
Yeah.
So when he does it, it's like, what can I use you for? Every once in a while he does it.
Yeah, because when I hear people do Southern accents in film, I
cringe.
I can tell if that person's from the South or that person's English. It's
hilarious.
You can tell.
Of course. Grade my Southern accent. Ready? Me and Johnny gonna go get a bucket of chicken.
Well,
is it an F?
No, I just felt like once you do it enough, you'll be able to relax into it.
Okay.
It feels like you got your foot on the gas a little hard.
I'll do more like this. No, shoot, I'm hitting the gas.
Now you're going into Forrest Gump land.
Well, mama, that's my touchdown. Mama, chocolates, bubba, shrimp. I got it.
Wow. Now you're hitting it out of the park. I mean, holy shit. Harry Dean Stanton? That's what I thought. That's where my mind went.
It was an F-, and we all know.
No, come on. You're doing great, kid.
I appreciate it. Any thoughts on the meaning of life? Then we'll get out of here. God? I mean, for someone who's going right up to the death door, you have to be pretty certain that one could say, look at this man's trust in a higher power. You know what I mean? Because you're not too afraid. You clearly don't think like there's a tormentor God that's waiting to kick us into hell.
Yeah, I don't know who exactly's waiting on us. I was raised Southern Baptist, and whatever gets someone through the day's A-okay. As long as you're not hurting anyone or telling someone how to think.
Yeah.
As long as you have a personal relationship with some higher power, it's knock yourself out.
And what is yours?
I just try to believe in me and be there for my family.
It's very. That's what Sandler said. His God is sort of like his family and kindness, which is also what the Dalai Lama said.
Yeah.
Kindness.
Yeah. Didn't the Dalai Lama just suck some?
He asked a child to suck his tongue. Yeah, that was a thing. He said, "Suck my."
Did you see that? It was so bizarre, and everyone just like it happened, and no one said anything else about it. I'm like, that's.
It's a tricky pickle, for sure. Zach Galifianakis had the best joke about it. He goes, "What people don't know is that boy's name was Suck My Thumb." Or Suck My Tongue. I blew it. He goes, well, people are getting so mad. They don't know the boy's name was Suck My Tongue.
Wow.
Yeah. That was a tight spot because clearly a beautiful man. And I saw... I mean...
Okay, well, I mean...
The Dalai Lama, guys. Is that a hot take?
I always thought he was.
Is that a hot take?
I always thought he was. And then he's
yeah.
got some kid sucking his tongue. And I'm like, I don't know about that guy now.
I feel conflicted about it as well. I know.
Totally fine sitting here in judgment of the Dalai Lama getting his tongue sucked by a young boy.
Asking a young boy to suck his tongue.
And didn't it happen?
It didn't happen, no. I can't defend that. And what really was hard for me was a lot of my friends are Buddhists and Buddhist teachers, and watching them on social media, people that I love very dearly.
Well, just because he did that doesn't...
Trying to explain it.
You know, like, that was his bad personal choice. But, you know...
Well, that's a great one. It's sort of a non-religion. There's no God. It's very personal. It's about experiencing yourself, your true self.
Yeah.
And I would go into with that with you. I would be in that with you.
All right. We're pissing through the same straw.
Get the fuck out of here. What fun you are. Please feel like you made a great movie and know that you're very fun.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Here's the last question, for real. We're out of here. Can you tell me the time you laughed the hardest in your life? Maybe you were a kid. Maybe it was something went wrong, I'm guessing. Here are other prompts. Maybe someone fell. Maybe someone farted. Maybe you were in church. Maybe you were in school. You're not supposed to laugh. But tears are streaming down your face. Maybe you're a kid. Doesn't have to be a great story. Just a time in your life when you laughed really, 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 really hard.
Well, luckily, I have a lot of those memories. But I would say the hardest I ever laughed was, God damn it.
What? Oh.
Probably one of my father's stories. I know that's not funny.
No, it's beautiful.
Man.
That's the stuff. This is the stuff.
I've been doing this more and more lately.
Having big
I'm
emotions.
getting soft in my old age.
Isn't that good? What are we going to get?
Yeah,
Hard?
Yeah.
But those sometimes it's the retelling that makes you realize just.
I spent too much time with my mother. She was.
Wait, that's what they would say? Johnny spent too much time with his mother.
No, she was very emotional, and and so.
But how much would that mean to your dad that's what comes up for you?
Yeah, I mean, either it's something he did intentionally, or something unintentionally. He's just. Yeah, that's a whole other telling stories on my father's like a whole other show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. This has been great. It's an honor just to be able to see you remembering that.
Yeah.
And honoring your dad like that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Because we do on the show a lot, your parents, this, that, and to have you be like, no, he was like a hero.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. I mean, flawed hero, but he was my hero.
Yeah.
I guess most all heroes are flawed.
Yeah, like the Dalai Lama.
Oh, my God. What do you say you suck on my tongue a little? Is that so wrong? How does that even... I mean, it's...
Oh, no. Why did I bring it back up?
God damn.
Look, your dad had a few suck my tongue moments.
No, he didn't have those. He didn't have
his
those.
His own version.
Yeah.
Something weird.
Never asked a young boy to suck his tongue. Oh my God. People just let it fly too. Everyone forgot about it.
I think there was backlash.
Hey, I remember.
You unfollowed him.
I'll show him.
I muted him. I still follow him, but I don't see the posts. Well, that's beautiful, man. When did he pass?
In 2018.
Oh, not that long
on
ago.
Halloween.
Oh, wow.
And my mom, he didn't even make it a year without my mom. She died the year before, 10 months before.
That's like Old Testaments have broken heart.
Yeah.
Like they just go as a pair.
Yeah. That's what happened.
Wow. How?
He.
You didn't strap him to a rocket, did you?
No. He.
Are these jokes okay?
It was complications from pneumonia.
Okay.
And yeah, and I think a broken heart too, because like when you lose the will to live and your outlook, and
Yeah.
you know,
Bad vibes.
really bad vibes.
Really bad vibes.
Yeah.
So he's broken, and so he was in love. He and your mom were like good.
Yeah, but I mean, they had some rough patches, but they stayed married for 60 years, over 60 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're sold as a set at that point.
Mom deserved a medal, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
My
but
parents are about to celebrate their 50th, and that's
That's
the
fantastic.
joke. That's the joke. I go, Dad, Mom, you deserve a medal. Dad, you deserve a bigger medal. I don't know who gets the bigger medal. They're both out of their mind.
I would say my mom deserved the bigger medal for that one.
Yeah.
But they loved each other.
Wow.
Drove each other crazy,
Yeah.
but they loved each other.
That's just what it is, man. I guess.
Yeah.
I'm glad you have somebody. What you lit up when you talked about your girlfriend too.
It's
How
great.
long? Again, not out of gossip.
Couple years.
Oh, it's-
Going almost 3 years.
Okay.
Maybe 2.
So it's not brand new?
something.
And
Yeah.
it's still lighting you up. I'm glad.
Oh, it's
It's getting better.
yeah,
Good.
yeah.
That's
And
great.
it started out great. So
That's excellent.
yeah.
You ever see a UFO? You seem like you've seen a UFO.
Never seen a UFO. I don't disbelieve them. I've never seen one.
Yeah. Ghosts?
No, I don't believe in ghosts.
No ghosts.
No.
So I could take you to that prison where they shot The Longest Yard, which is supposed to be one of the most haunted places on earth, and I'll lock you in a cell overnight. Will you do it?
I just wouldn't want to. I'm very big on comfort. Right? I
not
don't
the
give a
ghouls.
shit about
It's not the ghouls.
ghosts or the spirits.
What if I put a nice Tempur-Pedic in the cell?
Ooh, now we're talking.
And a heater.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Then yeah, sure.
And a TV.
Yeah. Sure.
But like no part of you.
No.
There's just a guy. You hear a baton on the bars.
I'm coming out to meet you.
You're
Whoever, like, I'm going to.
you're the first guy that fights a ghost.
I'm going to. Well, whatever. Well, it's not a ghost. Whatever.
Yeah.
Person is making that noise.
But do you have any connection to your parents now that they've passed? Do you have any sort of
I have
like
their memories.
Just which of course is absolutely an echo of them.
Yes.
And their DNA. Yeah.
Yes.
And your kids.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy? How does it work? Like my wife, when a baby is born, a female is born, all the eggs are in the baby. So my wife, Val's eggs were in my mother-in-law. There's like this weird, we're so connected. It's so pushing forward. So it's not just wishful thinking to be like, and here you are. You know what I mean? That is your dad. Like in a very literal way, this thing keeps pushing itself forward.
My dad did tell me once, the best part of you ran down your mama's crack.
Oh my God!
But the worst part when
Wait, did he mean his jizz?
Yeah. And then my mom would go, the worst part is she'd go, oh honey, it did not. But like, don't defend him. Let him make a wild statement and I'll laugh. But don't like give credence to it like oh, maybe it did, and that's why I don't run so fast and I was born with a club foot.
Oh my God!
Because not enough got in.
Not enough jizz.
Yeah. I was born with a club foot. It's probably because of that.
Because some of it ran down.
Yeah.
The good foot part ran out.
Yeah. See what he did? See what he did? Hotter than a two-peggered owl.
There are some cultures that believe, this is going to sound crazy, but it's true, that all the men in the village would have sex with the woman because they believed that the semen congealed and would take the best parts of. They didn't think it was one sperm. They were like, so the strongest guy and the fastest guy and the smartest guy, and everybody would go up there because they thought the sperm gathered together and that became the baby. You know what I mean?
It's a very awful, convenient belief for those men. You know, it's like, oh, really? That's what you're. We all have to do it. It's just for your
the horniest doctor.
Yeah,
and the sperm.
They push the doctor forward. Yeah. What they're saying is
medically
correct.
accurate.
He's terrified. What an awful belief.
What a convenient belief for the horny. It's
for
a horny belief.
It's a horny belief. Men of that village.
Well, I've enjoyed every moment.
Thank you. I had fun.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Steve-O, you should have jizzed in the air. Somebody had to say it.
Jumped and
Jump.
jizz.
Here's the order, Steve. Jump, jizz, pull the cord.
Yep.
Not jizz, jump, pull the cord.
Yeah.
Now you're just covered in jizz, sailing free.
Okay. Do we have a minute 9 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm sorry you have to hear this, but
Katie was here for
the timing
jizz
of the
riffs.
jump jizz.
Yeah.
Reminded me of another thing. I was very. We had the Phantom camera for Jackass 3.
It's a slow-mo camera.
Yeah, and shoots over 1,000 frames per second. And I was like, Pontius should take care of himself on camera. And we're like, all right. So everyone's like, okay, that's what we'll do next. But we didn't have a location for it. And so I called my wife. I'm like, can we come shoot something in the backyard? And she's like, what is it? Yeah. She said yes, but it was our nanny's first day with us.
Stop.
So anyway, we got the whole crew. It's 3D, Phantom camera, huge crew at my house just to shoot this one thing. And you only have 4 seconds. When you're shooting with the Phantom camera, it shoots in 4 seconds in intervals. And so they're like, okay, it's like, Pontius, give us a heads up before you do it. Give us a verbal Oklahoma before you do it. I got it. Kept telling him, I got it. And I go inside for something, and because it took a long time. It took a long time, and so
Like peeing at the ballpark.
First of all, he goes, do you have any lube? I'm like, I got some moisturizer in my car, and I didn't know it at the time, but they had put horse semen in my moisturizer, and I'd been using it for weeks. So I and it was like a marshmallowy texture. So I hand him this moisturizer, marshmallowy moisturizer, and he was using it to
Yeah, jizz meet jizz.
and it wasn't helping. Anyway, I go back inside, and I'm talking to my wife about something, and I hear all this commotion outside. Everyone's yelling at each other. Pontius is upset. Camera guys are upset. I'm like, what happened? They said he went, Oklahoma. And Pontius is like, I did not. And that's what was going on when I went back outside.
Oklahoma first.
Yeah.
Here's the order.
I wasn't
Oklahoma.
there. I don't want to, Pontius is a hero. His penis has been a hero to our franchise.
Yes. There's one of your southern words. Hero.
Why is it a 4-syllable word?
I didn't forget, Katie. Do you mind? I'm going to read a review. We want people to like and review the show on iTunes or Spotify, so I'm going to read this. What if I have you read it and it has a big Hawaiian name in it?
Oh, I'm fucked.
It says, Soul Bomb, 5 stars. I'm new to the pod, but just finished the episode with Malik Elisal while in the midst of a very broad and deep fight with my dad. See? Dad stuff, man, it's real. While also at work, this episode kept me grounded, provided context, and was a balm to the soul. Thank you. That's from Sam BL. just guys, we're trying to grow the show. It's so hard with so many podcasts out there, and we've been doing this for over 10 years. So it would mean a lot. Help us get in the charts and all that sort of stuff. I love these conversations. I want people to hear them. Share it with people. Text it around and maybe leave us a review, and maybe we'll read it on the air. Johnny, thank you so much.
Thank you
for doing this. This is for you as well. It seems like a joke, but this is my favorite shampoo because it cleans your hair, but it doesn't dry it out. Like, you got great hair. We have similar hair, right? I just complimented my own hair by the transitive
You have
property.
great hair. We have similar hair.
Yeah.
God.
By the transitive property, I have great hair. But you know how when you wash your hair with shampoo, it looks like shit? This doesn't do that. It just looks great right after you're done.
Thank you. I need this.
You take as many as you want.
Oh, I mean, this...
Modern Mammals, baby.
Yeah.
And would you say keep it crispy? It's just how we end. The guest says keep it crispy. And sincere thanks. Go watch Sweet Dreams. It's out April 13th on... Do you know what it's on?
I don't fucking know.
He doesn't fucking know.
Paramount.
It's Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus, yeah. Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
But check it out for sure.
Film company I've worked with for over 25 years.
They're sending
Jesus Christ.
sending you fruit baskets when your kids are born, and we can't remember.
Oh, and I have a new podcast coming out called Pretty Sure I Can Fly.
There you go.
Maybe they check that out.
Pretty Sure I Can Fly.
My cousin Roger Allen Wade and I have a show on Outlaw Country called The Big Ass Happy Family Jubilee. It ain't too good, but it's long. It's on Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern.
I love it.
Yeah.
And would you say keep it crispy?
Oh, keep it crispy. For crying out loud, keep it crispy.
Thank you, Jay Knox. God love you.
Yes. May the God of your choice love you.
May the God, whatever gets you through the night, who gives a shit, that one, may it love you. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
You made it weird. You made it weird.